Wait, wasn't there still a thing that was his face? Who was in the Lost District or whatever?
Skurlock?
Yeah,
Myron is hopefully coming back with the final item that Skurlock needs.
Oh, okay.
But he hasn't shown up yet.
He'll present himself.
Lord Skurlock.
Yeah. Because I'm hoping that whatever Skurlock wants is like cool and mystical and weird. But yeah, it's like big diamonds are cool. Does this lion's eye diamond have mystical properties? Does it have a lion's eye in it?
Do we really want to get involved in more magic bullshit, though?
There are no real rumors about it having magical properties.
Can we steal a gem that has magical properties? Maybe something that used to be the heart of a dragon, or like
Arthur, I know you want to do mystical stuff, but we just got our asses handed to us by the mystical stuff.
No, we got our asses handed to us by ghosts.
By the Dimmer sisters,
Oh no, they
didn't.
Your aspirational granny.
That was a misunderstanding.
From everything Marcos told me,
She scarred me.
From everything
with a mummy.
Yeah, you're pretty hideous now.
With everything Marcos told me, he's devoted a lot of time into getting this score, and it makes me feel really comfortable that he's so on the up and up about this.
And this is what I'm asking.
I feel like we have
in return for
like a stronghold on this instead of something where we have no clue.
I thought that was just for fun.
For what?
No.
Because I really like the assassination.
No.
That was
I basically went in solo mode.
I'm playing up this paranoid thing where I'm like, oh, Marco knows a lot about this thing. It makes me feel comfortable that we go with this instead of something we don't know anything about.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you know about it? Like, where is it? Is it in someone's house? Is it in a museum as well?
So it's in this museum. This is the layout. This is the guard.
So it's in a
museum. It would be.
You did that. So
unless it's in a personal showing.
You did that clock that you figured out. You figured out where it was placed. Okay. So yeah, it actually is. It's making its tour through Akaros as it travels around on the rails to the different cities on this tour it's on, and it's currently being shown. Yeah, trains, same trick twice. That'll be exciting.
No.
It's currently being shown in the let's see here.
It's up in Tacoma Dome. Sunday. I'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
It's kept in the driver's seat of the monster truck on top of this tower of monster trucks.
When we say monster trucks, they're actual monsters.
Oh, that would be amazing.
They're all possessed by ghosts.
Bad movie.
Gravedigger.
Has anyone
Toro? Gosh, it's like the new meat grinder on the D&D channel. They're running Stream of Annihilation, so it's like this high lethality meat grinder D&D game. And Chris Perkins is DMing it, and he starts the game off and he goes, "All right, so you are all searching for the Eye of Karumba."
Yeah.
I paused the video and just cried for like 15 seconds.
Yay!
You cried tears of joy?
Yes, tears of joy, yeah.
You have to skateboard through the obstacles.
Just literally, yesterday at my D&D game, my goddaughter's mom is playing a character like Caelin's character, where she like just constantly makes up like fake conspiracies to intimidate other people. And she went to this like Undertaker necromancer and says, "Look, we know you have the Fandango." And then one of the other players who wasn't paying a lot of attention said, "Oh yeah, what about this Fandango?" I was like, "She just made it up. It's not a real thing." That's like, because he was convinced it was actually something we were looking for.
How many hit dice does the gazebo have?
When your conspiracy's so good, your own crew buys into it.
That'd be like really messed up to play a character who just gaslights everyone.
I gotta get to Alex Jones tier.
Yeah,
it's just like it's never been like this. It's always been like this.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're nuts.
Oh, if I got a superpower, that's the power I'd want.
To make a perception
gaslight.
Just like emotionally manipulate everybody.
Oh,
and then slowly during the course of the campaign, you just bring it into the real world until you're actually gaslighting the other players.
God damn it.
And that's how I lose my friends.
So here's the deal with this jewel. The Lion's Eye is a historical artifact given over as trade in a treaty in an old war that the Akarosi fought about maybe 100, 150 years ago. I could be more specific than that. It's about 123 years ago that they
So
fought.
did they lose and have to give it to someone? And
No,
it's now coming back on
they
tour?
got it. They got it as tribute.
So it belongs to the Akarosi.
Yes, it belongs to the Akarosi.
Right.
It's an Akarosian.
Because when you say it was on tour here, I thought, a cave.
Oh, sorry,
You
no.
don't go on tour if you're over the omen.
On tour around the continent of Akaros.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
But yeah, it was basically a buyout. It's an old Akarosian relic, and it's currently being shown off at Charter Hall University for its academic, historical.
Ooh, we're stealing a
implications.
historical artifact. That's
Yeah.
great. This is like stealing the Liberty Bell.
So it's not like it's not as big as the Liberty Bell. It'd be more like Betsy Ross's flag, that sort of thing. Except it's worth more because it's it's a gem.
But it's famous
high-priced
enough
gem.
that it would just piss off and draw a lot of heat. And we
Just
Yes.
for reference, how large is it?
It's probably about like this wide.
Okay.
It's a single oval cut diamond with little black opals set in the amulet around it. Set in the gold amulet around it. The lion's eye.
That sounds like a statement piece.
You start
Cover
wearing it
cover
around
your whole
publicly.
face with it.
I already have the hat that I'm gonna put mounted on.
If I steal this, does that fulfill my vice?
So it's currently under guard at Charter Hall University. It has
I want to wear it.
constantly what you've learned is there are blue coat patrols that usually patrol the grounds at Charter Hall. It is currently secured in a cage-like lock section, like not like a locked box, but like a pedestal with like a 4-barred cage around it.
Ooh.
The Charter Hall University grounds are constantly controlled by bluecoats. It's being held in the historic wing of the university. That's like this long building with this dome top to it, where they like hang skeletons and fossils of like old dinosaurs and like crazy animals and things that used to roam the Deathlands and the plains before the Imperial Emperor took everything over. So it's like a whole bunch of these like dinosaur and like freaky skeletons hanging from this dome.
Ooh, does it have a full actual whale?
Ooh.
It does actually. It doesn't have a whale. It's a leviathan. It has a
Yeah,
leviathan
right.
skeleton. Yeah.
Because at the Museum of Natural History in Chicago, we have a whole actual whale. So I was like, oh.
I don't know how crazy that is in the setting terms. I don't think it's that crazy.
I don't know how big
People
Leviathans
hunt
are.
leviathans.
They're huge. I'm just wondering if it's possible for you to actually kill one of those. No. I know exactly how it could have happened. Yeah, it washed up on shore a long time ago, and so they basically chartered it off to the museum in pieces. On the Dagger Isles is probably where they took it from.
Fair.
Anyway, so
We should give it back.
it's the Acarosians got it. Anyway,
We should give it back.
it's hanging from this dome above there, and the diamond is beneath all that in this 4-barred cage that's constantly guarded by a patrol of bluecoats that you've noticed. They go in and out of the building and patrol most of the grounds. And then there are 2 of official men of the Imperial military. There's just 2 of those guys, but they're on order because this is an Acarosian war relic. They're guarding the thing. That's a tier 6 gang. They're super tough. They basically are responsible for guarding the governor of Doskvol. So it's these, but it's just 2 of them. It's 2 of these dudes who stand there. So they'll be the main issue. Dealing with them is the main obstacle to this lion's eye. Getting through the bars and cutting through them or picking the lock is, you're like, I could probably do that because you have infiltrator. So probably won't be that big of a deal. But getting past those 2 Imperial military guys and getting out by dodging all the bluecoat patrols is going to be the tough part.
Don't we have friends at the university?
You do. You have a gang known as the Bookworms, who are a gang of chemists at the university. Yes, you do.
Yes.
So you have +3 faction status with them, so you could bring them in on this if you wanted their help.
I definitely want to bring them in on this.
Okay.
Yes, Queen.
So I want to cut the power and then sneak in and steal the diamond.
Okay.
Like the security alarm will be
leaving cards to say YQY on them every time we finish the score.
You want to cut the power so the lamps dim and stuff like that, and there's no.
Yeah, the lamps go out, the alarm cuts out, and in order to find out about that, I believe I would need the Bookworm's help. They would know whether the alarm system is kept on a separate circuit, things like that.
Right. So
or be able to find out. I don't think they would just know that.
Yeah, let's see if they can gather some info for you.
And if they didn't, the Spark Rights would help me.
Would be able to help me. I'll give them 4 dice because it's on their home turf. Yeah, the Spark Rights could definitely help out with this. Let's figure it out.
A 6.
Crit. Yeah. So they tell you that it's two separate systems. one system that runs like the lights and stuff for that wing only of university, because the university doesn't just run off of one subsystem from the electrical lines. And then there is a separate backup generator filled with reserve Leviathan blood that kicks in. That's under heavy lock and key because Leviathan blood is a very valuable resource constantly, and it's in the basement beneath the historical wing. So you'd need to cut power to both the generator, the original generator, the electrical lines leading into the university, which are out on the grounds, and that'd be as easy as like going to the relay box and disabling it somehow.
Yeah, like cutting a chain link fence.
Exactly. And then you'd need to also cut power to the generator beneath.
Okay, well, I believe that I can sneak into the generator down below because I can get through heavy lock and key.
So, as part of the prep
I can also be
for getting ready for this, and based on the fact that I just finished the novel series involving breaking into the New York Museum, I want to go ahead and case the location by just touring around as myself.
Mark already cased it for like a week. We have everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm doing a different type of casing.
Oh, okay.
This is supernatural.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because there are two things I want to do. Number one is, because we have that ability to see into the ghost veil, I want to look as much as I can carefully into the old city that was here, because one of the things that came up in the novel I just finished reading was that the museum was so old that there's a lot of places that are basically soft points that were architecture built around or over other old things. And one of the keys of how the mystery was solved was that the museum is actually adjacent to a place that used to be an old subway station that they just kind of brick and mortared over. So I want to look at old architecture to see how it intersects with the modern architecture to look for weak points for entry and egress. And number two, I want to be able to gather information using Ghost Mine to see what entities might be available so that I could be prepared when we do actually do the event to say, oh look, there's a Viking ghost who's really good at skewering level 6 guards, or here's a ghost of a child that like fell to his doom at one point who created distraction.
Useless child ghost.
Let's see how well that goes.
So, I get 4 dice for this.
With the tune?
Yeah.
Okay, you have 4 dots and a tune?
No, I get +1 because of this ability.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hope they die again.
So, it's basically a fortune roll. So it's controlled standard, so there's no consequences. We're just seeing how well you learn information.
Alright. So that's a 6.
Yeah, you got a 6. Yeah. Okay, with this Ghost Echo's ability, you can see and interact with the old ghost versions. Ooh. You can see and interact with the old ghost versions of Doskvol. So it's not just seeing if there are any irregularities. You can actually find there is, in the ghostly version of Doskvol, there seemed to have one point been an old well that was since filled up with rock and stuff and boarded over. But in the ghost version of it, it still exists on the university grounds. You know you could probably use it to slip down into the sewers and make your way through them to get into the underbelly of the museum's basement to cut that second generator a lot easier.
Okay.
As far as ghosts on the premises, there are not a lot around Charter Hall University. It's a pretty sparse area for that. The Spirit Wardens tend to be on point around this area.
Okay.
So none, mostly.
So we wouldn't... Okay, so we will be prepared to know that we can't use the usual trick of summoning a ghost to compel them to like attack people.
Yeah. The one thing that occurs to you is either compelling a ghost to follow you in, or if Ulf's ghosts are still following you from before, it will be desperate to take control of them, and probably mostly impossible. But if you get in a pinch, if they're following you, you might be able to use them to your advantage.
I would prefer not to have to do that.
Now, I think this has already been clarified, but we're living in a setting that has no sort of camera security.
Yes,
system.
No cameras, nothing like that.
That's gonna be so helpful.
and ghosts coming in will not trigger any defenses, right?
No, it might. So there's the university has its own ghost field around it. It has its own ghost field, but if you cut the power, that will be disabled.
Gotcha. All right. So I will share all of this information, especially knowing that the well information can help Marco have a better understanding of what resources are available to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I will try to compel Ulf or one of his ghost buddies to join me as a.
So Ulf's ghost isn't going to be around probably.
Alright.
The spirit.
Oh,
ones take care
those
of it,
other.
but like his
okay.
chain is.
Yeah, yeah.
And compelling one of those is desperate and very difficult. It may be a better idea just to find a ghost that you
Am I with him
know
while he's doing this?
you can be.
Have you ever tried to
'Cause I
investigate
could
a way
talk
to
to
contain
whatever
a
ghost-
and bring it in?
You should be.
How about we
Oh,
rewind?
like storing it in an object.
Do you guys
Not
want to
yet.
like
I
find a
didn't take-
wandering
I didn't take
spirit
that ability
and
yet.
like
Well,
sway
that'd be
him? Or...
interesting to have like
Arthur,
a ghost in a can.
Arthur,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't take it because I could use it.
Mhm.
let's rewind and say I was with you this whole time.
Oh, okay.
And whatever you find, I'm gonna, talk to it. I could use sway probably.
All right, because I'm kind of overconfident about like ghosts, and I like these chain ghosts because they seem like they're extra powerful and have chains.
It's going to be desperate 0 to go for those.
Oh,
guys.
0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're hunting you down and they're.
Oh, okay. Because when you brought it up, I thought if I succeeded, it would mean something.
Oh,
Right,
you're,
so you
oh,
could
you're
push
seeking,
yourself
you're
for
seeking,
more.
you're seeking out a chain ghost.
You could push yourself for more
Oh.
effect,
You can't sway those.
and then
man.
possibly.
I
Have
don't
a
know.
chance to
I don't
do
know
so.
if I would want.
But I meant to say if it's in a
Be
pinch, because if
around.
they show up
yeah,
while you're on
I
the
would-
job
I wouldn't
and you're
agree to be
adversity,
a part of this.
then you have another ghost to work with, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Then yeah. If it's desperate 0, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Because there's too much of a risk that even if you succeed, it's not gonna be sufficient.
Oh yeah, but also like the trauma that I endured from my first encounter with one
Yeah,
of
it's
those.
like, hey, this is Joe. It's
I'm
like,
like-
no, not Joe.
It's like I would
My
not,
only
I would,
weakness.
I would
But then-
not be seeking them
But
out.
then you're gonna leave the 12-year-old to do it himself to go
Yeah.
seek out.
Well, if he
scary
does it by himself, I don't know that he's doing it. So
So it's fine.
Yeah.
ghosts. We just assume
I mean-
he goes back home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
it's
home
sort of
just
like-
assumes he's with us.
It's sort of like if I asked you to come out to a small, intimate dinner and your ex is there and I didn't tell you until you arrived. So,
I thought you had him for the weekend.
remember Chain Ghost 3? It's like, ah, you bastard.
I'm sure you're wondering why I've summoned this chain ghost here.
we have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
This is an intervention.
Does anybody else want to gather information about this score before we make the engagement roll?
One thing I forgot because I got caught up in the whole ghost thing is I want to make sure. The other reason I'm here is because while I'm excited about being able to help Marco, I also selfishly want to know what else I can steal while we're here that might actually be cooler for me. Because I'm thinking it's a museum and a historical museum with cool stuff.
It's not a museum. It's the historical wing of the university, and the diamond's on display there.
Oh, it's not part of a larger collection of things.
No,
it's just by itself.
Yeah, it's just by itself on display for the students to look at. for
Oh,
their academic
okay. I
interests.
thought it was part of a collection. It's like, oh, it happens to be next to this other thing, which does happen to be a mystical artifact.
Yeah, no, nothing like that.
Okay, so what
Far
I
less
want to
excited
do.
about this job now.
There are probably a bunch of informational posters
So,
around about
who did you say was like the
procurement and
two
whatever.
main security
Yeah,
people
it's
or
history.
whatever?
There would be two members of the Imperial Guard. So their responsibility is to guard the governor in Doskvol. They're a tier 6 gang. They're like the highest possible guards.
But so are they just? Do they stand around or are they behind certain levels of security?
They basically stand next to the diamond within its caged bar thing all day long. They stand there. They change shifts, of course.
Only one of them is at the
two per time.
Two per
but
time.
They change shifts probably every 4 hours or so. They
Okay,
switch shifts.
so
Wait,
this is what I want to do is I want to go there and I want to obviously get a visual of what both of them look like.
Mhm.
At the
And
time we
I don't
want to be
know
there.
if they have name tags or any of that information.
They don't have name tags.
They don't have name tags.
But you can see, so they're like these one guy's really tall and the other guy's like, kind of medium height. They're both wearing these shiny like white coats with like black curls that go down the zipper and the sides on either side. It's like a white coat with like this black cut that goes up. It's the Imperial Guard uniform. You can recognize it. They have helmets on. You can tell that they've got heavy armor on underneath those coats. They have like 2 pistols at their side and sabers as well. And they're standing there. They're like the British guys.
So they don't talk if you try to engage them?
They will try very hard to like not talk to students or just become part of the scenery and guard the diamond. They're 100% focused on their job.
So here's the key question, because you mentioned they were like the beef eaters, and one of the things that's important is,
do I need to learn?
Do
what
they talk to each
sound
other?
like?
yeah, because the thing is that
No.
the beef eaters go home to regular lives and they
Right.
just show up and serve, because Arkady could become one of them and replace them if that were true. But if they're like Imperial Guards, like the Praetorian Guard, then they know each other. And it's like he can't just show up as like because they go back to like the castle and the barracks. And
no,
things.
they definitely know each other because these guys are trained to fight together. They're like the highest. They're like highly trained, high-ranking soldiers. So it's probably this unit that got assigned to guard this diamond.
Sorry, I called you by my own name by accident.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they know each other. Like they're trained to work together. It's a tightly knit group.
Okay, so I also stick around to see a shift change to see the other guards.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell them apart. I mean, you can kind of see their faces and stuff. They have different features. Like one of them's blonde hair, the other one has red. 2 brown-haired guys, that sort of thing. But basically, changing shifts involves the 2 guards coming in. They speak to each other for a sec. They glance at the diamond. The 4 guards all go over and look at the diamond together and examine it from all sides to make sure nothing's wrong or has been changed. You can tell they're probably looking for oddities to see if it's been swapped for a fake or something.
Am I able to get close enough in proximity that I can catch one of these brief exchanges between the 2?
No, you'd have to be like right up next to him, like within, because they're whispering. They're within whispering distance.
Well, so like here's my thing: if this diamond here for people to see?
Yes, it is.
So you can get close to it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I'm wondering if I can get close enough to them while they're simultaneously like saying something, so that I can like mimic their voice. Because what if they're having like a conversation with one another and like I don't match their voice?
Student. What if you're like dressed like a student and you just like act like an annoying student and you're just like trying to be like, hey, I got questions.
Oh, like maybe
I love the history of the diamond.
Maybe they're already whispering and I walk up real quick.
Yeah, that's
and try to.
Or you could be like,
I try to hear them before they stop talking.
Or you could be like one of those guys who's like, I know all about military history and I just like love you guys. I have some questions for you.
Yeah, are you trying to like goad them into talking or?
No. So I'm gonna like wait until they're like whispering to one another and rush over there before they get a chance to stop talking.
Okay.
And hopefully I can hear.
What's going on, guys?
Hopefully I can hear what they say.
Okay.
And I have what I'm gonna say, no matter what the outcome of your roll is.
Cool. That's fine. I just want to check something.
Yeah, looks like someone else.
So you look like a student or something.
Yeah, I look like a student.
So as you come walking up dressed as a student, like they're whispering to each other, and you catch like just the tail end of them saying, "No, there's no imperfect," and then they stop and they turn to look at you, and they just like stare at you.
I'm sorry. Where's the bathroom?
And
Restrooms?
Like, 2 of them like sidelong glance at each other, and one of them points off like down the hall to the left.
Thank you. And then I walk away. But did I catch enough of at least one person?
Yeah, you can hear his voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I'm going to tell.
Thank you.
I probably can't do it in one night, but I'm
need
going
to
to take me
potty.
2 nights to tell the 2 guards that we're interested in home.
They try not to talk, but they don't want you to.
You want to like follow them back to White Crown.
They want
And-
that.
Oh, they live in White Crown.
I'm gonna see if you don't
hard
tell
to
me.
They
break
guard-
in and swap.
They guard the governor. Like that's where
Yeah,
the governor's
that's-
mansion is.
yeah.
Wait, is
Threatening-
it the same 2
threatening to
guards
urinate.
all the time?
No,
No.
they swap.
pretty
It's the
good.
same unit.
Okay.
It's a pretty good bargaining chip, threatening to urinate.